Hey guys, this is Derek with Blue Collar Chess. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss what I think could and should be, well, should maybe strong, but what could be your first study plan. So, say you're getting better and you're like, oh, I really want to put a little more effort into this. So, I actually recommend getting a membership to chess.com if that's the case. Like, if you fall into that category, even if you're a little bit better too, I have a membership. I have a membership because there's a lot of lessons I want to get to, and there's some great videos. I'll be honest with you, I'm not super crazy about the videos from like the past, like I don't know, 4 or 5 years, but the archive videos, the ones that are way back, are fantastic. Like if you want, Danny Wrench has some great videos on the end game, on pawn structures. Hellstein also recently put out some videos on the pawn structures, which are equally good too. Anyways, but again, say you're that person, you're getting pretty good, you want to start studying more, you want to look at end games. So I'm going to outline a very basic study plan that I think would work really well for most people in that group. Honestly, it's a fine study plan for me too, for that matter. So anyways, so let's take a look. Okay, so obviously you can play games on chess.com, right? So you play, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 slow games. So let's say, what's a slow game? 30 minutes, 30-second increment. I like 45 minutes flat, to be honest with you. I like a 45-minute flat game, an hour flat game, maybe even 30 minutes flat is enough time to think. But if you're trying to get better, you really need more time. Especially you need time to do your blunder checks, right? That's going to be like your main thing that you're going to be thinking about as a beginner. Is like, okay, does this move lose any material? Does this move give up some sort of combination? Is there a tactic that I just exposed because I'm going to play this move? That type of stuff. Okay, so you're doing that. So then what you want to do is you want to use like the game review. So I'm going to briefly go over the game review. I'm not going to get into it too much. I'm just going to go to one of my old games. We'll go to one of these that I just played. And really quick here. Right, so it's going to give me the option of doing a game review. Okay. Right, so this is the game review.
You fought well to get an endgame advantage. But remember to keep an eye out for mating ideas, even with just a few pieces on the board.
So right there, it kind of gave me, like a basic blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can see, like, I was winning the entire time, then I just made a mistake, right? So that is what it is. That happens sometimes. But, so say I'm going through this game, right? And, well, let's start
Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces.
All right, so you can go through it move by move like that. So every time...
The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn.
So I recommend doing that at first for a few games. But then other than that, I just like using like these things here. Like it kind of just shows me what I find, even on Lichess too. What if you do a game analysis? What it shows you is kind of like where a serious mistake was made. So it's good to just take a look at those moments. So that for me, that's all I need. I don't really need like this basic like the Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with a knight. I don't particularly need that. So if you don't want that, you can hit this little analyze button, and all those things are right here, analyze. So whatever, I'm not going to discuss too much on the game analysis, but what you do is you play your slow games, give yourself time to think. Maybe 3. I think 3 a week is fair. I think you can find time for that, and then you use this either way, this way or the other way. And then what you do is you go to these lessons. So this is lessons. That if you hit that button, that will take you to the last lesson that you were looking at. But if you go to lesson library, okay. So that's where you want to go. So I'm going through a course right now called Build Your Technique. It's a very good course. I highly recommend those. So one thing that you can do, you can search. So you can go to the instructor here, and you can pick like your favorite instructor if you want. I'm gonna look for Jeremy Silman because he has some really good stuff. So let's find some Silman stuff here. As you can see, there's all these great authors putting stuff out. Jeremy Silman right here. So yeah, I mean he has a course on now what. All openings demand a certain amount of memorization, by far more important than the. Let's take a look at this one. Far more important than memorizing moves is understanding where your pieces belong and what the plans are for both sides. So, essentially, this sounds like a course that's like for right after the opening, where you're getting into like middle game plans. I'm sure a lot of people can use that. So okay, so let's go back one. Yes, strategic errors. They also had a really good one. Someone's lessons and strategies. Those are very good. There's also roots of positional understanding, which are this one right here. This is like 286 lessons. It's really only kind of like fairly simple questions. You're not gonna get them all right. I don't get them all right for sure. But like the point being is like, so here's Rook and other endgames with 40 lessons. So playing your games, you're doing your game review, and you're like, man, I'm really struggling with Rook endgames. So okay, so then you come here. You can check out Jeremy Silman courses. I'm sure you can just look up. Let's see what else we can look up here. Theme. So let's look up themes. So the themes here are middle game, development, pawn structure, material, proactivity, space stacking. Okay, that's not exactly. Let's do. So I was going for endgame, but it doesn't say endgame anywhere. Does oh, there's more buttons right here. So yeah, I mean, look at that. These are all the themes. I don't think I've ever looked at this little thing. Yeah, so then you go to endgames and go to just Rook endgame. Like, okay, I'm struggling my Rook endgame. Here you go. So yeah, you've got Rook and other. Okay, let's get him out of here. Let's do all. Yeah, right here. So now you've got Grand Lake Magnus Carlsen. You've got Super GM Rook endings. You've got Mastering the Endgame, Advanced Endgames, Endgame Patterns, Pawn Play in the Endgame, Do or Die with Rook endings. This is really good. I've gone through a lot of that. I think I've gone through it once, and I'm going through it again. Yeah, so the point is, so chess.com has all these things, and they're fantastic. They are behind a paywall, which kind of sucks. So if you just want a site to play and not really study at all, but the alternative to like this would be to buy Chessable courses, and which are also fantastic. I love Chessable. I use Chessable all the time. I'm not affiliated with either one of these guys, by the way. I think as a beginner though, this is great. Like I didn't have this when I was younger. I mean, I was doing the old-fashioned book and board, and that's what it looked like, you know. So now to have this type of stuff. So also with chess.com, you can analyze your game, and you can save a library of your games, and you can reference them if you want. You know, another great resource. Like, say you're like, okay, I still don't know what I'm trying to do here. So one thing that you could do, again using chess.com, is you got to find articles here, right here. So you go to articles, okay? So after articles, then you go to study plans. Now they have new study plans now. They have these ones here. I have not looked at these. I'm sure they're great. I can tell you, like, this guy is one of my favorite authors now. This I think it's Jan is how you actually pronounce the name. Looks like Can, but anyways, this guy's he's fantastic. So I'm sure his study plan is good. But you go right down here to editor's note. You can find the old chess.com study guide directory here. And here you can find, like, easily find the videos that you're looking for. So say we're gonna stick with the end game theme, right? So you go to the end game, and you're gonna read this. They're gonna have some articles. So this right here is this is an article, the principle of the end game for beginners, and watch this. Everything you need to know the end game, and then watch this and solve the puzzles, understanding end games. Very simple stuff, but again, if you're a beginner, you're gonna go through these things. You're just gonna use a study plan, and you're gonna go through it at your own leisure. Like, I'm not big on structure. At, you, to be honest, like I think you should just have fun. So if you like playing games, play games. If you like playing blitz games, you should play blitz games. However, you do need those longer games to get some actual thinking and to work on your thought process. Because if you're not working on your thought process, like what I mean by that is doing your checks, captures, and threats is one thing. I don't even really do that. What I'm doing is I ask myself, what is my opponent's plan? Can I stop his plan? And usually just by doing that, I'm looking at checks, captures, and threats, you know. But sometimes the position is clearly tactical, and I need to take a step back, and then I actually do need to start looking at checks, captures, and threats. They become very, very viable at that point. So, so yeah, if I was a beginner now, and I had to, or I wanted to rather, come up with a plan where to spend my money, I think I would spend it this way on chess.com. I think it's a really good site for beginners to have everything at their fingertips to improve. Now, I do want to do a little caveat here. When it comes to stuff like where I prefer to play, I do typically prefer to play on Lichess. However, I'm starting to think more and more people cheat on Lichess. And I'm not sure if more people do or the cheat detection isn't as good. I'm just not sure. I know when I play, though, on chess.com, probably every couple sessions I'll get a message saying, hey, there's a cheater, here's some points back. But that hardly ever happens on Lichess. So you can draw two conclusions. Obviously, the first one is nobody's cheating on Lichess. I don't believe that for a second. I think there's a lot of ways to cheat, and I think people cheat all the time. So I believe they're just not super motivated to catch the cheaters. Okay? So yeah. Again, if you're going to spend money for the first time and you want basically something that's going to have everything that you possibly need, like they have drills here, like you can drill the king and rook mate drills, and you should. Like, if you're a beginner, you don't really know how to do that. The two bishop mate drill, yeah, bishop and knight mate, the edge. These are drills. These are really good. So you're gonna play them against a computer. The position's gonna already be set up. And then again, here's some more videos, right? Here's king and pawn endings, the basics. Pawn endings 2. King and pawn endings stage 2. All these videos that will incrementally get you better at chess, and they're all right here. Again, the alternative is buying videos, buying books. But if you can learn by video, and if you can't learn by video, as I showed you earlier, there's some great lessons on here. And then, of course, the other thing about chess.com, or Lichess for that matter, is that you've got stuff like Puzzle Rush, and you've got just like puzzles too. That's a great resource. So you really have everything you could possibly want right here. You spend a little money on it, and that's, So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and people who are on the fence or just didn't know about some of these things. If you have any other questions or any ideas for future episodes, please let me know. Because I've been doing a lot of stuff, or not a lot, but a few things with like chess tempo and like showing people how to do like create an open repertoire and then take that repertoire and put it in a chess tempo and then drill the repertoire. So I've been doing stuff like that. And that's kind of what my vision for the channel was to help people use resources and to help people just grow as chess players. And I've kind of strayed a bit from that. Doing a lot of talky stuff, doing a lot of do some game analysis. My game analysis, though, I think if you look at it, what you're gonna get is, I mean, obviously, I'm not a grandmaster, so you're not going to get like a grandmaster's touch there, but you're gonna see a dude who absolutely loves chess, who is decent enough at chess that can kind of explain some things, especially like the basics of positional play. Like the finer nuances. I mean, I'm certainly not Karpov, and I'm not going to crack open a Karpov game and try to explain to you. Nor am I going to pretend like some of these people do. They'll. I'm guessing they work with their coach to come up with a plan, and then they'll make a video about it. Because they clearly not comfortable with the material, or say they're like a 1200 player, and they probably don't really understand weak square and color complexes and like a dark square strategy and that type of stuff. Maybe they do, and it's me that's lacking, and I'm just so good at tactics that I didn't need any of that. I have no idea, but anyways, again, you have limited money. You want to get better at chess. I think PublyChess.com is the best way to go. Now, if you don't have any money, can you do the same thing with Lichess? Yeah, you can absolutely do the same thing with Lichess. The only thing you don't get are the lessons. Now, you can get videos from YouTube, so all the videos are there, and I have playlists about that too. So I have a playlist. If anybody cares, there's an endgame playlist. I will add that when new videos come out that I think are interesting and stuff like that. So yeah. So anyways, guys, this is Derek. Sorry about the long diatribe with Blue Collar Chess, and talk to you guys later.